Good afternoon and welcome to my space. This is Sherry Pluskota and co-hosting this afternoon are Software Brian and Dark Angel Donna. How are you folks?
I'm doing great. How are you
Yeah,
doing, Sherry?
Doing good, thank you.
I just woke up.
Well, we're glad you did. Uh, we're gonna
I'm
give
half
her a minute.
asleep, but I've just woke up.
Oh, that's so funny.
Well, at least you're awake, Donna.
Yeah, no, and I've got Caitlin texting me. I'll be there at 10:58 because I know you're playing poker at 12. I went, no, it says 12 midnight. She went, for fuck's sake. I've booked the train now. I says, well, just make sure you phone me before you get to Sheffield.
Oh my God, so funny.
So
Brian, what
she's pissed.
did did you end up playing today, or what'd you end up deciding to do?
I decided to eat lunch and take a nap.
Hey, nice. I just got up from a nap myself. You
I,
know,
I I need to edit though, Sherry. So hopefully, my buddy's gonna be here soon with a keyboard and mouse and
oh, good.
HDMI cable. So
Okay,
uh,
very good. And Brad, I've sent you a request to speak, but if you want to just click on that bottom left button, request, it may go faster that way to get you up here on the panel. I'd appreciate it. Yeah, all of you guys know that I'm here in Washington State with my daughter and son-in-law and my new grandbaby. And I'm just gonna say, baby JC 1, 5 adults, 0. We are exhausted, uh, but things are coming along just fine for sure. And there is Brad. Hey, Brad.
Hello, what's going on, Sherry? How you doing?
Good. How are you, pal?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Appreciate you for having me up here. I'm excited. Thank you.
Well,
I'd be lying if I didn't say I wasn't a little nervous. I've listened to these spaces a lot. I've heard these interviews, and I've never been on this side. So, but I'm excited, and I really, really appreciate you for this. I'm excited.
well, we're happy you've joined us. And when we started this, I said I was going to always throw in us meeting on a more personal level via an interview, somebody within Spaces. And you definitely have been with us in Spaces since the beginning of time. And so it is our pleasure to drill you this afternoon.
I know. I'm excited. Thanks again.
I just can't
Uh,
wait for the controversial questions, Sherry. He's got some things to answer for here.
I know. He is the most controversial streamer I know.
well,
Now
here's
ask me how many streamers I know, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm open book, so anybody who's willing to come up here and ask questions, I'd be glad to answer any questions. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. I appreciate you guys.
Well, we appreciate you. And before we go any further, you are most deserving of a proper introduction. Brad Nessar is a Southern California baby, and we're not going to hold that against him. He has a very supporting, loving wife and some munchkins. Up until a few years ago, Brad was primarily a cash game player, and now he is a tournament player. Our guest is part of the WPT streaming family. We'll get into that a little bit more. And our guest Brad started something different within the streaming world. When he hosts, he sometimes does it alongside a live DJ, which makes his stream not only unique, but a very happening place to be. I highly recommend it. Brad has a little over 17,000 listed on his Hendon Mob, with his best live cash being $7,623 for his second place finish in the 2022 $200 no limit tournament at the Talking Stick in Scottsdale, Arizona. Brad, we're happy to have you with us today. Can you tell us about how you got started in poker, please?
Wow, what an introduction. I really, really appreciate you. So I probably started my true introduction to poker was about probably when I was like 7, 8 years old, playing Little League with a bunch of friends. And it started out with a game called Challenge, we called it. I've heard it called like Two-Part Army. Basically, there's no flop, turn, or river. Everybody antes for the first hand. Say it's $1. Everybody gets dealt two cards. It's plays like hold like poker, like aces are your best hand, deuce three would be your worst hand, and you're either in or out. And let's say three people are in, the best hand takes the pot, and the losers have to pay the pot. So the pot ends up getting progressive, and there's no ante as long as there's at least one loser. If the person on the dealer button, everybody folds to the dealer, then everybody antes up and it starts over. And there was definitely bluffing. You know, if you're the first person to act and you stay, it's going to be hard to call and stay in with marginal hands after that person. So there was like a lot of like mind games that would happen in that game. And then as the pot got bigger, you were going to be on the hook for losing the pot. So there was a lot of little dynamics to it. And then probably by the time we were probably in middle school, we started playing Hold'em, which was probably like late 90s. And I graduated high school in 2002, and by that time we had been playing Hold'em for like 4 or 5 years in the garages. We played baseball on the weekends, and then we all crashed at somebody's house. We were playing poker for hours on end. And then by the time we graduated, you know, I graduated at 17. Everybody else was 18, and the very first casino I played at was Casino Morongo, and I was able to get in. There was nobody really guarding the doors, but I was only like a few months behind. But I was 17. It was the first time I ever played live in a casino, and then I once I was turned 21, the bike commerce. I didn't really care for commerce, but I did play there. But the bike and the gardens were really mainstays for me. I played a lot of hours there a long time ago, and then I moved to Arizona, and my wife and I got married, and we a couple years later we moved out to Arizona. You know, I just played the local casinos out here, and I just grinded while I was working. And then 2010 was like a pretty fucking insane year for me, like just on a real personal level. Like life just threw everything they had at me, and I had uh, my uh,
It's
my
okay, my darling.
Take your
my
time,
wi-
Brad. You can
It's
skip over it
okay.
if you want to, bud.
my wife and I had lost twins. We were uh, set to have twins, and we lost them about 4 or 5 months in. I um, A few months later, uh, I had lost my job, and I was also diagnosed with lupus that year. And when I had lost my job, I was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to play poker." Probably, to be very honest with you, um, probably not the smartest place to do it. Um, but I probably for like 6 to 9 months, I took everything I had and I went and played, and I made a living. You know, I was putting in 40 to 80 hours a week, no problem. Pretty much almost never missing a week. I took a couple of weeks off throughout the year, like when I was just gassed. But and I was just playing 2-3, 2-5, just whatever games like I could. And it was just a little volatile. Um, so I needed to get back to like a stable job. So I started getting back to a stable job. I absolutely fucking hated the company I was working for. And this one was probably a little more sound. I had built up a little bit of a bankroll, and I was like, I'm going to get back after it. I was able to make it work. It was a little volatile, and I voluntarily left the company and went back at it for like another 6 to 9 months. And same thing, like I made a little bit of money, but when you're giving up a regular paycheck that's actually providing and putting in the bills and you can count on it every couple weeks, and when you're making, even if you're profitable on a marginal stance, you're giving up a fair wage, you know, and just being profitable wasn't enough. And again, I decided to go back. to working scene. I got into business to business sales, and I absolutely loved business to business sales. And I think this part of me really kind of helped shape me as a tournament poker player because I think even as a poker player, period, because you go out there, you're just knocking on doors. I'm out here in Arizona. I had wood bottom soles. I had was long sleeve shirt, tie, wood wool pants. Like I didn't care if it was 115 outside. Nobody else was out there knocking on doors like I was. And when I walked in, I was already different than it. So I was out there grinding, and I promise you, if you're knocking on 100 doors, 95 of them are going to kick you out. 5 to 10 of them are probably going to yell at you, and even out of that 5 people, maybe one of them you actually get to make a deal on, and it was just relentless. But I always felt like in the raw of large numbers, and you just got to keep moving. You get pushed out that door, you got to go knock on the next door. And I think to me, like why I relate that part of my working career into poker is because I feel that way in tournament poker, that when you get knocked out of a tournament, you have to find a way to just get on to the next. And you have to reflect on maybe something on when I was on that last call that I walked in. Why didn't that call go so well? Did I say something? Did I come in too quick? Was I, did they already have their guard down before I come in? Was it just a hand that was dealt there, so, and I would always try to make corrections along the way. If I got a meeting with somebody and I didn't close the deal, I would always really try to analyze why that happened, and sometimes I think poker's the same way. You get knocked out of a tournament, you have to be on to the next moment. We talked about this the other day with Donna on the spaces, but you still, in the same sense, you still have to be reflective on what just happened. Sometimes things are going to happen the way they happen. Did you make wrong moves? And when you have successes, you have to kind of appreciate those moments, because that's what the grind is for. And to get to those spots where you can be successful, and you have to appreciate those moments for sure. And
Well,
I think,
congrats. Oh, go ahead.
and but and so I'll wrap up kind of the rest part of the story. But right here, I ended up going back into the cash game realm. I actually probably had my longest stint of playing just cash for a living. Probably played for a little over a year. Same thing ended up happening, just marginal gains, and I ended up going back into the mortgage industry. Um, and COVID happened, and while I was still working, I was still playing live, so I was still floating in 15 to 20 hours a week, no problem. And right, probably like 2018 or so, I really started 2017, 18. I started playing some dailies. I was mixing it in, and then COVID happened. I had played the Arizona State Championships. I practically stone bubbled this 2,000 person tournament, and what is a crazy tournament by the way, because this is the only tournament I've ever been involved in that had a rain out. There was a huge monsoon, but anyhow, so I had played the Arizona State Championships a couple times. I had played the Any Up Tour main events. They were like $400 or $500 tournaments or something like that. I basically min cashed them. I had a decent run in one of them, and then COVID happened. I didn't play cards at all from like 2020, 2021. Pretty much didn't get dealt any cards at all. But I was like taking in content still, like watching WPT final tables, podcasts, or whatever. And then my buddy had told me about Club WPT. He was like, "Hey man, I've been telling you should get more into tournament poker." And right before COVID, I was starting to just mesh the two. And one thing in my poker career I had never done is take the leap into tournament poker. And so in 2023, I basically kind of make that kind of similar decision. This time I actually walked from my job again. But when I say these things in these spots, I promise you, my wife is a huge consultant in these things. She's an incredible support of mine, and I couldn't be in this, telling any part of this poker journey if it weren't for her support and me being able to do that. Because if she at any point was like, hey, this ain't happening. It wasn't gonna happen. I can tell you that. And so in 2020, at the beginning of 2023, kind of same thing. I just said, hey, I really want to focus on tournament poker, but I can't do it working 9 to 5, which is actually like like basically an 11-hour day because it was like an hour to get to work, hour to get to home, you know. So like you just can't really have like a real tournament lifestyle that way. And I got 3 kids, so it's tough to incorporate like truly playing tournaments. And so she was like, "All right, I'm on board," you know. And I had saved up some money and played the WSOP Circuit Main Event. Um, really struggled in the first like prelim events. Debated not playing the main, played the main, ran pretty deep, cashed the main on our first WSOP circuit event. Um, and then not too long after I gained as you mentioned, the second place in the local, which I'm kind of tilted about because I fucking chip lead this damn tournament the whole damn way. And literally, like the hand before we all decided to chop, he took the chip lead. But it was all good. We ICM chopped it anyway, so we're talking about a couple bucks probably in the end of it. But I was like, all right, let's go. And then I funded my WSOP run. Didn't go well. I bailed on the Arizona State Championship that year. Just gas. Went and played the WPT Prime. Met up with a bunch of the club WPT people. I'll talk about that as well. And then from there, last year I did not play as many tournaments as I wanted to. The previous year I probably played. I thought I was going to go play like hundreds of tournaments. I was a little misguided when I first had thought about it. But I probably played 30 or 40 tournaments in that when I first walked, and for me that was a ton of tournaments. And
That's
I
a
played in
lot
some
of tournaments.
yeah,
I'm
and I
going
played
to
in some
interrupt you
big
for
events.
just a
Go ahead.
minute,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
Brad, because that's a lot for us to unpack,
Okay.
to absorb. And I first want to congratulate you on not only being able to share those darkest moments in your life, but to make it through those darkest moments and be such a champion in life. Because anybody that's been with you in the spaces knows what a cheerful person you are all the time. And for you to come out of those darkest of days with such a loving personality says a lot about you, your perseverance, and the person you are. So, congratulations on that, Brad, for sure.
I appreciate you. No, it's very kind of you. I've had an incredible amount of support over the last couple of years, which is I got some things I want to touch on that as well. But
Of course.
you know, and it's been you know, when I think about me playing poker, it's been a hell of a journey. And you know, then the WPT, the main event for the Prime. And I guess now the main event for me. I'll talk about that too. But the
Right.
win in the WPT Win Championship in December, they do such an incredible job on both ends that's something that I'm just never gonna miss. And if I can't find the funds to play in any of them, I'm still gonna be there because I know I'm gonna have a ton of friends there running deep, hopefully, and I'm going to be there to support them. And I support the WPT, and the events are just incredible. They have so much going for them off the felt.
Right.
And that festival, it's just an unmatchable experience, is what I always tell
And we're
people.
gonna, and I could not agree with you more. And we will dive into that some more as well. And Greg, I saw your request, and we're just gonna hold off until we get some more questions answered, and then we'll open up for anyone to come up and ask questions or make comments. So I appreciate your patience, Greg. Tell us how you found your way to the WPT streaming team.
As I mentioned about that gentleman who had told me, he was like, "Hey, man, I really think you should focus more um, on tournament play. If you're not able to get on the live felt, this is like a perfect platform. It's a subscription-based model. You can play tons of free rolls. You can win cash prizes. You can win seats to these big events." And above nothing else, like it's just an opportunity for you to get really dive into tournament poker a little bit more. And I was like, that's a brilliant idea. So I signed up, and after a few months, I kept running into the same people on the felt, running deep, and they were like, "Hey, man, we got this Discord channel. Why don't you hop in?" So I hop into this Discord channel for the community, and there's a bunch of people streaming, and I'm like, every night, like all of the big daily events, which from Monday through Sunday they have. I mean, throughout the year, they run from like $500, and they have smaller ones throughout the day, $500 prize pool, all the way up until their biggest tournaments of the year. They're like 125K events. So, but there's like lots of stuff going on every day, and there was somebody streaming every day. I was like, this is kind of fun. And like they were playing music, and what really kind of grabbed my attention is one day I was in one of these streams, and they pulled my table up. And I was like, wait, I'm on the featured table. Like all these people are watching. It was, I don't know, it was kind of cool. I was like, hey, honey, like they got my table up, So I was kind of hooked at that point. Like I really enjoyed the atmosphere and the camaraderie. Everybody was rooting for each other. And, after a while, I started streaming. A couple of people couldn't do it anymore. And there was just like a little bit of a void in the schedule. And I was like, I'll try it, and I kind of intentionally stayed off of social media for a really long time. I just really, I don't know, I just kind of feared like trolls, and I just kept the people that I was in contact with in like really, really tight knit circles. I don't even think I had posted on Facebook or Instagram for, I don't even think ever, and Instagram, and maybe like 5 years on Facebook. And I didn't even open a Twitter account until I think right before I went to go play the WSOP circuit main event at the bike. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get out there, try to start rubbing shoulders, and try to feel the pulse of the poker community. And it's been incredible. Like, there's jerks out there, there's trolls out there, and they're just going to be out there. And it's a fraction of the community. The majority of the community, in my opinion, that I've crossed paths with on and off the felt is at least 90% really, really positive. And, there's always bad apples in pretty
Yep.
much any group out there, Um, but I've been very fortunate to be a part of the Stream Team family. We met up in December at the Win, the inaugural event. We met up last year. We're going to do it again this year. We have some private stuff going on. And they're just an incredible community, and they've been super supportive. By the way, Chief you met him. I hope it's okay. I meant to
Please,
open with
please,
this.
please do.
Uh, he's streaming right now, and he's got us up over there. So I hope you don't mind. He dropped your link in the chat. He's streaming his event and sharing our conversation, if that's okay.
Well, we don't mind at all, and we appreciate that share. And, um, you know, we always like to help anybody that's trying to do something positive. So we definitely appreciate you streaming us live in your stream. Thank you.
Yeah, I think he was one of the players you ended up meeting up with at the South Point tournament that you guys crossed paths with, a bunch of them.
Oh, we did, and it was quite comical because we had, I'd been, we were there playing I think it might have been the 7 o'clock tournament or the 10 o'clock. I don't even remember. In December, the tournament, and all of a sudden, just a bunch of different people, and all of a sudden, somebody said something at my table. I want to say they were directly to my right, and I thought, wait, is he one of Brad's like streaming buddies? And I said something, like, do you know Brad Nessar? I don't even remember. Or are you part of the streaming team or whatever? And lo and behold, it was a large part of the crew that was there in Vegas at the time were with me at that South Point tournament. And of course, we had lots of fun and made the final table, and the rest is history. So, yeah, thank you. It was a delight meeting those that were in Vegas at that time because, like Brad, they are all a delightful group of folks.
Yeah, they are. They're awesome. Cool story about Chief U. He actually streamed my WPT main event win on Club WPT when I won that package. He was streaming, so super
Well,
stoked. That was yeah.
that's the streaming run good, and we're going to have the spaces run good for you guys that are going on a package or free ride, and those that aren't. So let's go into that for a minute.
Okay.
So
Okay.
tell us about winning your WPT package, and how many entries were there, and how long did it take, and anything you want to tell us about that ride.
Yeah. So I actually want to go. I want to rewind like 2 weeks before because
Sure.
the WPT voyage was getting amped up to happen. And they were running their final, they've been running satellites on Club WPT to go to the voyage. And I can't tell you how much I wanted to go to the voyage. And um, I really wanted to be there. And so it was a 2,000 person tournament. They're free rolls. So when in these subscription based models, you're as a subscriber, they're just all free rolls. So you don't have to pay to play these tournaments. They're just happening daily. You just got to basically be there. And and so it's like a 2,000 person tournament, winner take all. They had like $500 because they're giving away packages. It's super top heavy. So I think they gave away 500 from like second to ninth place. But 200 bucks or something, and then a 6K package to the WPT voyage. I mean, you know what I mean? So
Right.
it's basically winner take all. So they I ended up finishing third in the last one that they had for like a winner take all. There was another event that it was a 125K event that they ran the following Monday where they gave away like 20, I think it was top 20 got 6K packages and it was a 5K cash give out or something. Um, um, but I didn't qualify in that one either. But I finished third in that one and I was so close. I was just absolutely devastated. Just, I promise you, just devastated. I was sick to my stomach. And a couple weeks later, Club WPT runs this event. It's a new subscription like level that they have. It's called Super Saturdays. And these tournaments have been running about 750 to 800 people. And top five people win packages. So usually what I've been seeing is twice a month they'll run the big package, and then the other twice a month, I'll explain that in a second. The other 2 times a month or 3 times a month, they'll run a first through fifth get a WPT Prime seat or package. Just first through fifth. So once you get to five, the tournament's over. And then those other 2 tournaments I was talking about when they run the big package, they play it down to one, and first place is getting a $12,000 package, and second through fifth still get the prime seat or the package. They run various both ways. So this was at the end of the month. It was one of the big ones, and Chiefy was streaming. And this was like 2 weeks later. I win the 12K package, and
Whoop,
then
whoop.
I know. Just so I was fucking over the moon. I was over the moon. And so,
So tell us,
maybe,
for the sake of our
okay,
audience that may not know,
yes.
Brad, what's in that package?
So that it is a 10. I think the WPT main event is 10,400. So you get your seat, and that package gives you like $2,000 ballpark in travel money, and
Awesome.
you get to book your own stuff, etc. And just like the WSOP runs, if you're staying on the Caesars properties, if you go through the WSOP, they're running discounted rates. Same thing for the WPT and the win in December. If you go through the WPT site and book, you're going to get discounted rates at the win. You don't have to stay there.
Right, 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 right. Well, congratulations on that win. Like, that
Thank you.
wasn't enough of an exciting month about a month and a half ago. Brad decided to play, was it on GG Poker?
Well, actually, there's a story in between there.
Oh,
So,
please tell us.
so about 3 weeks later, again on the Super Saturday, again about 750 to 800 people in the field. I win a prime seat, WPT prime seat for the WPT Championship Festival in December. So I won a WPT 12K main event package, and then I won a prime seat.
Let's fucking go, Brad Nessar, making his
So,
way through those tournaments. Go ahead, tell us the next one.
so I will definitely be at the win in December. And then, a couple weeks ago, very similar to the story I just said about the WPT Voyage finishing third. On Wednesdays on Club GG, they run a six max, and winner take all gets a 12K package to the WSOP main event. And it was like at this point about a month ago, I finished sixth in it, and I was just absolutely again gutted. And then the very next six max a week later, I finished 11th. The next tournament I played, I finished 11th again, and then I went 22nd, 22nd, and then like 75th and like 175th. These are 2,000 and 3,000 person fields. I actually got on the spaces after that one of those nights, and I was just like, I'm getting frustrated, you know. And then like 2 days later, I finished. I on the six max. It was a six max tournament again. I finished first, and
Whoop, whoop.
we take the WSOP package. DMC, he was calling it the subscription poker triple crown. I thought that was funny.
I love that. So good, Brad. Congratulations. And you know what? You're going to have some run good. I feel it. I feel it when you're in Vegas for all of those events. And gosh, how exciting. Go
Oh yeah,
ahead.
definitely. I'm definitely thrilled to death. It's something I've never played a 10K. The biggest tournament I've ever played was the WSOP Circuit main event for 1700. I played the state championships like 4 or 5 years, and that's 1100. And I played a couple 1500 events at the WSOP Summer Series a couple years ago. But all in all, I've never played a 10K event, and I get to play two of them this year. It's just
That is
incredible.
amazing. Good for you. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, really cool, Brad. I mean, like, you're gonna have a blast. I mean, it's just playing the main event is awesome and all of that. So you're gonna have a blast, my friend. Um, I want to go back to kind of what you were talking about
Yeah.
earlier, because I really respect, and I want to make sure like people see what, at least what I heard is that you went out there, you were playing poker, it it wasn't reliable enough at the time, I guess, too much up and down to pay your bills, and so you were willing to go back and get a regular job, right?
Yeah,
Is that right?
absolutely. A few times. Yeah, I did that a few times actually, though.
And I think that's so key, like there's so much of this, and I think it's what differentiates, somebody that's well, that's at least not going to have a problem. I mean, there's a lot of people in poker that have a gambling problem, and that's what I'm really kind of trying to see what I can make sure to put out there, that people realize, like, that all of this fairy tale that you see may not always be correct. And the fact is that a lot of people that you think are winning players are not winning players, and even if they are winning players, maybe they're not winning enough to support themselves. So I think that's really commendable how you took a step back. And now at this time, are you still working a full-time job or
No,
part-time, or
no. When I left 2 years ago, I have not gone back.
so?
I pretty much gave myself like a hard stop by like the turn of the year. That probably would need to like probably reevaluate. So I wanted to give myself at least a couple years to really focus on it, especially because tournament poker, you don't get the volume that you do like in cash tournaments, and I haven't put in the volume that I wanted to, or been able to. So I felt like, and I had talked with my wife over with her about it over the last couple of years, and she's kind of been on board. She's her thing. This is her phrase of the year is actionable results. That's what she needs to see.
Yeah.
And so very fair. It's totally fair. I promise you, when I won the WSOP package, I was screaming actionable results.
Yeah. That's
uh,
great.
I
but
love
you
that.
know, but you know what? To be fair, I mean, even that, like, I've won, 20, what, 12, like 20, 25, $26,000 in packages. Like that doesn't
Right.
pay the bill. That still doesn't pay the
Doesn't
bills.
pay the bills. Right. Right.
Still doesn't pay the bills. So it gives me an incredible opportunity, and it gives me, you know, a an opportunity to pay the bills, and B for me to like kind of see this like intention that I had 2 years ago, kind of see it through, and I get to be on the biggest stage, and I've played with some of the best of the best. That tournament, that
Yeah.
first tournament back, I was dealt Maria Ho 2 days straight. I was like, that's crazy. How
It's
do I
funny.
draw Maria Ho twice? Barry
And
Greenstein sitting two tables over. It was a tough deal.
and are you still playing cash or just the tournaments?
Just tournaments, and I play live tournaments. I'm actually playing one tomorrow, and they just opened up satellites to the Arizona State Championship. I'm gonna probably be grinding those on Mondays for, probably not gonna spend. I mean, obviously I'm gonna go to Vegas, but a little bit
Yeah.
before Vegas, and then when I come back from Vegas, I'm gonna try to satellite in.
Yeah,
For
definitely
the,
you want to have been playing a lot and stuff
yeah,
like that. I
yeah,
think that I think that for some reason, and I don't know what it is, but cash game players do pretty well sometimes. I mean, obviously, if they have some tournament experience, but for some reason in the main, it feels like that cash game kind of mindset is beneficial. Because a lot of times I think that the thing is like people aren't used to playing as deep in tournaments as they are in the main event. So it's one of the
right.
things to kind of keep in mind. Like you'll see people that have like 100 bigs and they've lost a bunch of hands, and they
Totally,
get
totally.
they get in their mind that they're short and they just can't overcome that, and they just spew the rest off, and you're just like what's going on? But I
Right.
think that that helps a lot. And just to say, if you're selling, I'm buying, Brad. I'm in. Okay, so
I,
I'm
I am
first in
selling.
line. I'm
All
first
right.
in line.
I will say I am selling to both. I'm not putting anything up for the WPT stuff. I'm not even going down that road until we get closer. But for the WSOP stuff, I am probably selling a small portion, probably maybe 20%.
All right,
You know,
DM Brian, DM me,
I'm in.
um,
I'm in.
and DM us.
so
No,
Let
but I
me know the markup and I'm in, my
will
no,
let
friend.
no, no,
you
no, 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 no. Actually, I want
No,
to start. Right. I don't do it. I promise myself, and I promise everybody that will ever hear this, I will never charge a markup ever,
well,
ever.
I'm in.
Well,
So
DM us the info. If you don't want to make it public, that's fine. But I need to do a little housekeeping
Yep.
first of
Yep.
all. Many thanks to Elevator Results, our sponsor. If you need a tailor made workout plan to help you lose weight or gain weight, Elevator Results can design that plan. Follow them on Twitter and check out their website at elevatorresultspt.com. And I also want to give a little shout out to Chief U's group that is now streaming us. Whoever is on that stream watching Chief U, I'm wishing him luck and the rest of you luck. And thank you for streaming us as we are chatting with Brad this afternoon. Can you tell us, after binking the main event, what would your first purchase be?
What would my first purchase be? This probably sounds boring, but I'd probably pay off my house.
I don't think that sounds
that
boring
does
at
not sound
all.
boring.
I think that would
Uh,
probably be a lot of the first thing for most people.
but if I could, give a more fun answer, I'd take my family on like a fun vacation trip. I'd let them pick where the hell we went. I'd probably do something like that. So
Uh,
that would be my. I'm going to Disneyland. Oh, we'll probably go to Disneyland too, by the way.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. When I'm in Vegas, I'm going to make you do a recording. I'm going to film you on
Okay.
video saying, You're going to Disney.
Uh,
we're gonna put that in the universe. We are
all
gonna put
right,
that in the universe.
let's
Now,
go.
tell us what your advice would be to someone that's just starting out on online poker.
Don't.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So the reason why subscription poker is generally safe, because think about what has to transpire for you to be successful. You got to shed 2,000 people, 3,000 people sometimes in these big package events. The Super Saturdays are unique. There's only like 700 to 800 in them, and they're giving away five. So there's like a ton of value in that side combo. But like where the cheating and online poker happens in these unregulated sites where A, they could be rugged, which we've seen in the past. B, there could be bots, ghosting, and all kinds of array RTAs and a whole entourage of things that could happen. And poker has so much variance already. You're cutting into your overall profitability, just bottom line. And the fact that you could, again, in an extreme scenario, win money and it be there on the site and never get paid is a possibility. It, like I said, we've seen it. So until it's actually legalized in the states, I would say don't. It's probably my best advice. Get out there on the live felt. I think subscription poker. I don't think enough people understand what it is. And I would say, honestly, for a couple $100, you could play both Club GG and Club WPT and have incredible opportunities. Just being honest, and you could play tons of tournaments. That would be if you want to play online poker, specifically tournaments, because there's no cash.
Well, and
Um,
I would just say for me, uh, the unregulated sites and regulated sites to me is all online poker. But I do understand what you're saying. And,
right,
I don't play very often online, usually special occasions. But I want people to understand that, when you're playing on an unregulated site, anything goes. And so the safety net of a WPT site
exactly,
is
exactly,
something that you should consider as a new player because it is quote unquote safe, right?
right,
And there
right.
is regulations and it is being monitored, blah, blah, blah. So definitely don't miss the point there, folks. Um,
Right. And there are a couple asterisks to that too. Like for instance, WSOP.com, in the 4 or 5 states, go get after it. There's bracelets, they got dailies. It's relatively legit. You still have some of those, uh, behind the scenes things that could still be happening, but you're never getting rugged from those places. WPT Global out of the country. There's a handful of other sites out of the country that are regulated and legal in those places. Um, maybe those sites, I would say, if you're playing on those places, you're probably not going to have to worry about that. But again, you still have some of those other online variables, from RTA,
Absolutely.
multi accounting, etc. Um,
And
and
let's
I
not
don't,
forget those
and I don't,
bots.
yeah, and the bots. And honestly, I don't know that there's ever. I mean, it'd be tough to have a foolproof um, system that can protect from all of those things. I think it's
Of
tough.
course. And let's
And
face it, the hackers are always one step ahead, right?
yeah,
Hackers are always one step ahead.
and I will say this, like online or live poker, of course, cheating and things happen in live poker, but generally speaking, this stuff's on camera. You're never not getting paid at a casino. So there's just a lot of those other factors that cut into your overall win rate that you have to deal with when you're playing online that you don't have to deal with live. Now, to be fair, you can't put in at scale because you can't play as many hands, right? So that's kind of the downfall, right? Where
Right.
online, these guys playing 10, 15, 20 tournaments at a time. If they're even if they're playing legit, they can't put in at scale what they can live or online versus live.
Absolutely. And you know what? Before we go any further, I want to give Donna a chance to get in here and ask some
Sure,
questions. Come on, Donna.
sure.
Yeah, I'm still awake. Just Brad, I want to know where you got your no lenses glasses from and what was
Oh,
the concept behind it.
this
Because
is a good
I've still got my purple ones.
this is a good question. I was always the kind of the guy, like I had the hoodie, the shades, like the prototype of what your poker player would look like with a hat. And I kind of always just kind of wanted to be a fly on the wall. And one time I was playing a cash game, and this guy had like a backpack full of these no lenses. And he started handing them out, and some people wanted them, some didn't. And I was like, hell yeah, let me get a pair. And it was just like the game that I still like. I don't remember a lot of games that I played. I played thousands, tens of thousands of hours of poker, and I don't remember so specifically a game that I played so much as that one. And the table experience was just fun. Everybody kind of just let their guard down, and we just got to have. It was like a home game. It was so much fun. And I was like, that's really cool. And as we were wrapping up, like I seen him on the phone, and he was on the phone with his daughter, and she had a pair. I was like, that's fucking cool, man. And like some of the people gave them back, and I was like, hey, I'd kind of like to give them to my kids. And can I take some of these pairs that they gave back? He's like, yeah, take whatever. He's like, you just can't have the red ones. She gets the reds. I was like, okay. So I brought home like three or four extra pairs. I gave them to my kids. They loved them. And I was like, you know what? From now on, I'm going to play like that. And it kind of opened up my personality at the table. I'm a little more lighthearted. And it's kind of, in a weird way, like kind of a little bit of a mockery to how I used to be at the table with the shades. And also, in a way, it was kind of like him with his daughter. It's kind of a way that I have my kids there with me at the table in a funny way, you know? Um, so it's kind of like all inclusive. And I never really gave them out. And then when I made that WSOP run, I'm playing the monster stack, I believe it was, and I sit down, and Tiffany Michelle was right to my right, and she was like, "What the heck is going on here?" You know, and I was like, "Do you want a pair?" She was like, "Sure." And then everybody at the table wanted a pair. The dealer wanted a pair, and I remember that moment when I started wearing them. I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna start giving them out everywhere I go." And so from then on, like I would just give them out. Like, if you want a pair, I'd give them you. You know, and it's just fun, kind of a lighthearted way to to be at the game. And you know, I've been wearing them probably I don't know maybe 10 years now, but I had never given them out until a couple years ago. And now last year at the WPT win, I took 200 pairs. I came back with like five.
I'm
um,
proud to say I still have mine too, Donna. Yeah.
so it's just you know being lighthearted, fun, you know.
Any more questions, Donna? Go ahead.
Yes, so where's the furthest glasses have gone?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Where's the furthest your when you gave out your no lens glasses? Where in the world have they gone to?
Who's gotten a pair? Is that what you mean?
Like, where
Yeah,
have they, and like, where do the people live, Donna, that took them home?
right. I'm in the UK, so I've got a pair in the UK. Where else in the
Oh,
world?
Lynn Martin. So that covers Australia. Um, Brazil. Yuri Zivolodisky or whatever. I watched the Jungle Man and Yuri Heads Up PPC 50K Championship when I was there. And oddly, I was on the rail for not oddly that I was on the rail for Jungle Man, but I was on the rail for Jungle Man. But oddly, when Yuri comes out, I was like, man, that was an incredible battle. The heads up battle was insane. And I ended up I had been on the rail with his buddy who was filming Yuri the whole time, and I was like very friendly with him. So he's walking out the tunnel, and I had given his buddy a pair of no lenses. And then Yuri's like, "Hey, can I get a pair?" And so he got a pair. So I got Brazil on the map, I guess, Australia, UK, Canada. We got Canada.
Okay, Brad,
Um,
I'm going to make a suggestion. I think you need to do a no lenses Twitter account and put a little sticker on the rim of each glasses that says, please um, come to my Twitter account, my no lenses Twitter account, and tell us
oh, that's cool.
where these glasses end up.
That's a cool idea. I like that. I might do something like that. That would be fun.
That would be fun.
Um, yeah, that would be fun.
Donna,
They
did you have
ran.
more fun? Oh, sorry.
They landed on some amazing people too. Like, just been having fun with it. And but yeah, I'll be taking another couple hundred pairs on that note. Today, this is December, so if you see me and you want a pair, just ask me.
And
Of
Donna, do you
course, they've ended
have
up
a question?
on some
Oh,
amazing people. They've ended up on me and Sherry for a start, so you.
Oh, that starts the list off right there. That's the
And
list
by
doesn't
the
even need to
way,
go on any further at that point, right?
and by the way, I would like a pair of white ones next time, please. So if I can't get over, Sherry can get them for me.
Consider it done.
Thank
we'll
you, my
get it
darling.
done. Donna, any more questions at this point?
No, let me just go 5 minutes sleep.
Okay, we're going to let Greg Galarkey have some questions or comments. Welcome.
No, I got nothing. I was just hanging out.
All right, deal. All right, Brad, if you could tell us, as though we've never heard of it before, about joining Club WPT. Tell us about that.
So they have subscription. It's a subscription-based model. I touched on this earlier. They have a VIP level, a diamond level, and a Super Saturday option. And basically, short of it again is you have access to free roll tournaments all month long on Club WPT. They also give you access to some of the Learn WPT products. And then you also get access to their entire like video archive of every single published WPT final table ever. Um, and then, but as far as like the playing poker site, the playing poker part goes, you create an account, you subscribe. They have tournaments going every single day. Basically, the big tournament, like Monday through Thursday, is usually like $1,000 prize pool. Friday, you might see like a $2,500 prize pool or $2,000 prize for the biggest one. And then usually the weekends, just pretty much like all sites out there, the big events, 5Ks, 10Ks, and the package events, 12.5K, et cetera, et cetera. Um, so beyond that, if you're interested in being part of the community, which I highly recommend, which I want to touch on this in a second as well, but there's a Discord community, and there's a huge group of us that we all play. We're pretty much all obviously subscribers. We're playing every day. We keep running into each other, and as I mentioned, there's streamers that are covering the action, and there's a whole group of us in there, and it's an incredible group of people. And honestly, they are an incredible part of my journey over the last couple of years. I stream every Sunday, and I definitely recommend if you do decide to play, not required, it's free, but just come in, hang with us, be a part of the community, the Stream Team family. One thing I want to touch on, um, they're separated, but they're connected from Club WPT. So like all of us streamers, we're not getting paid by Club WPT. It's all a volunteer community, just time and effort and support. That's all it is. And the Club WPT company, which is actually it's not a company. Club WPT is WPT. It's a division. But the Club WPT uh, they support the Discord stream team family in the sense that like we're all trying to help build the community and grow the community, and everybody looks after each other. And they do a private event for us, or they have been. I can't book that they're always going to do it, but the first couple years at the Win, they had private events for us at the like in one of the ballrooms. We even had a private tournament for the stream team family, was really all started from Lynn, Gil Martin, Matt Savage, Tony Dunstan, Vince Van Patten during COVID. They all started streaming basically almost every day, and then once COVID happened, obviously they went back to their regular jobs. Well, the community that was following and being part of those streams a handful of people decided to start streaming, and it kind of just blossomed from there. And
I love that.
thousands. Yeah, it's been an amazing community. Really,
I love
really
that.
incredible. Cool.
And shout out to Chief U, who's streaming us right now, and hope he's having some good luck on the felt. Blue, welcome to the panel. You have any questions or comments?
I have a comment for Brad because Brad knows I love him. One, congratulations because it's so awesome. And two, I want a hard vouch for the fact that he's 100% right. If you put in the time on things like Club WPT and all the rest of it, it pays itself off. Because Brad and I will be hanging in December at the same package.
Whoop,
That
whoop.
Brad, I'm in 48th now for the qualifier.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Blue won a package on the same Super Saturday event that I did.
Yep.
She won a prime package. So I will definitely see you. We will have some December selfies that we'll be sharing for sure.
Oh yeah, and I'm getting a few more. But for those who do play online, Brad is completely right. I play like the regular sites online for cash, and I also play these sort of like tournament only monthly sites. And if, like I said, if you're willing to put in the work, like no bots. There's not a lot of cheating. There's definitely some crazy people. But you get
Yeah,
more
you're
out
one
of
of them,
it.
my darling.
You get way more out of it.
Yeah, I think the value is pretty incredible. You know, for me, like when I was grinding, because I've been playing these sites for a couple of years now, and I hadn't won a package at all until 3 months ago, and I just caught fucking fire. It's crazy, but I won other events, but nothing of like this magnitude, and but yeah, you're not. I wouldn't say like, hey, just go show up in this 2,000 person event and think like, you know, you're just gonna make all your money back in one turn. A lot of these people that are winning packages, they're out there playing in the dailies. They're getting the work in, and by playing the dailies that are even just $1,000, you're playing with a lot of the same people that you're going to be playing with on the 12Ks. So you kind of figure, I remember playing with this guy, and he's crazy. I'm gonna call his ass down in certain spots. So it does give you some familiarity with the players. The speed of the online games, tournaments, just in general, no matter where you're playing, are generally turbo style. So you kind of got to get comfortable with playing short stack and figuring out how to navigate that stuff. And it's just good practice. And, Blue was knocking at the door a couple times, and boom, she actually binged her package in the first month. Um, I know ASG's out there on the grind. He's come really close. Um,
I got
you
two
know,
questions for you,
yeah,
Brad.
go for it.
Two, are HUDs allowed on that site?
Nope.
Yeah, HUDs are like a weird area. I don't know how sites police that, but yeah, I don't think, to my knowledge, that in any kind of assistance is
I can vouch
permitted.
for this. I've tried to rig this thing up so many different ways till Sunday. You can't.
Blue.
There you go.
Allegedly. She allegedly.
No. There's no allegedly. I don't feel any like guilt for using a HUD. Like that whatever. That's like doping with Lance Armstrong. We all just got to do it.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my goodness, Blue. I love you so much, kid. Um,
I think I'm older than you, Sherry.
Listen, I doubt it. If it doesn't start with a 6, it's a definite no. But I forgot what the hell the other question was, so that's hilarious. Brian, do you have some more questions for Brad?
Do I have some more questions for Brad? Yeah. So, Brad, what's your plans for the series? When are you coming out here for the summer? Are you just
Right
coming out for
now,
the main?
right now the plan is staying from the 29th is when I'm coming in, and I'm pretty much not doing anything that day. So 29th, I'm just going to come in, just kind of walk the grounds, and then the 30th, depending on what time I come in on the 29th, I'm going to try to make the TDA. I'm assuming that I'll probably be too late. So I don't know the TDA is going to work on the 29th. I plan on being at the TDA on the 30th. So So I'll probably be there on the 30th, and then I want to play for sure. I'm pretty sure that I want to play the mini main to warm up, and then I'll play the main. So I'm only pretty much going to play two. I know there's no way that I'm going to play the what's it called anything after the main, no matter what. So
Do you play
uh,
cash at all anymore?
I in the two since I in this last 2 years, or I mean, yeah, 2.5 years, I should say, or whatever. I played like two cast games. One of them was the meetup game that Sherry coordinated.
Do you miss it?
I do and I don't in a different sense. So when I was playing cash games, like kind of the beauty for me was I was able to kind of just do it every day, and like I could just go play, in the middle of the night, and it was like a prime time for me to play was late night when people are tired,
Yeah.
drunk, weekends, and then by then, and for me, again, I got a wife and three kids, so, between the kids being in school, wife, working and whatnot, it was just like the best time for me. Like everybody was sleeping. I wasn't really affecting anybody really, in this daily schedule. So it was just like a prime spot for me. And like I said, it's just like a lot of volume and it's just so much up and down. Um, I don't know. I don't miss it as much. I thought I would. I really, really enjoy tournaments. There's something about that just winning the tournament that you can't get that same feeling out of a cash game. I don't know. There's just maybe I'm a glutton for punishment too. Because I like tournaments so much.
No, no, no,
you
no.
know.
It resonates. It completely resonates with me because I think you and I have been in the same situation where, I lost my job and it was like, okay, I'm going to play poker for a living, and you can't play tournament poker for a living. You have to play cash.
Yeah. Yeah, you're kind of right. You're pretty much spot on. To do tournament poker for like truly for a living, you have to be putting in tons of volume. You got to be traveling. You can't really accomplish that in your
No,
local casinos. Sure, you could run really well in your local casinos for a couple years and do well, but I don't think that it's truly sustainable. You got to be in these tournaments and tours and circuits and these bigger events to truly sustain the tournament poker player. I heard this crazy stat when I first started playing tournament. This guy had told me, I think it applies kind of to cash as well, but he's like, best case scenario in a tournament, 15% get paid. He said at a given time, 10% of the population are winners. And in the long run, only 5% of the population actually keep it. So
yeah,
when you're talking about tournament poker, people that are truly, truly sustainable in the long term, you're talking like the upper echelon of top 5%, maybe I would say sub 10% for sure.
yeah.
Blue.
What?
That was a deep sigh, Blue, and
I
I
know
Well,
it's
appreciate you
tough.
for it.
because I'm
Those
like
words are
Brad.
true.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I'm like him. I
yeah.
love tournaments. I played cash because you got to pay rent, but the cash and tournaments are two totally different games, no matter
Oh,
what anybody
100%.
says. Yeah, and I totally
100%.
know
You
where
know,
Brad's coming from. There's like a real playing cash. You're like, you just sit there and you wait.
It's a job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
it
totally.
is.
I'm going to tell you,
It totally.
I miss what you were talking about, the flexibility of when you can go play. I do miss that about not playing cash. Like,
Right.
Yes.
especially when I'm in Vegas, if I'm up at 1 a.m., I can go play poker without,
Right.
if I'm, with some downtime at 2 p.m., I can go play cash if, whatever. I do miss that flexibility of, being able to play cash whenever.
That said, though, Sherry, when I was playing a lot of cash, I found that there were certain hours that were enormously profitable and certain hours that
Of
weren't.
course.
I mean, if you're there stuck on a Saturday night and it's 4 a.m., you are done. Like, get
Right
up
on.
and leave because you are just.
You're not coming
I
back.
I always used to joke, and Blue, I think I said this to you one time. I was like, the Gamblers Anonymous meeting starts at 5 a.m. on Sunday morning, you know, because it's like that's all that's left. Actually, it's funny because I remember there was a Sunday morning I was at Bellagio, and it was like, I think I was playing against this girl at my table. I think she was a friend or something of Ronnie Barda. And then Ronnie sits down, and Ronnie and I we're in this like 1-2 game, and I'm just like just bulldozing, trying to bluff Ronnie off of a pot with like 8 high, putting in like 300, Ronnie calls with bottom pair. And 10 minutes later, I'm on the freeway headed home,
Aw.
with my dad. Pops in the car, and we were driving back to LA.
Yeah, when I was playing full time, it was also I did the same thing like Brad. There were certain guys, and Brad will know this because you played the Commerce. There are certain guys at like 1:30, 2 a.m. at the Commerce that have just finished their enormous baccarat runs, and they come
Yeah.
drunk out of their mind to sit down at the table, and they shove all in blind.
Well, one thing I was going to say too, real quick, I really wanted, I forgot to mention this on your previous question about playing cash anymore. Right before COVID, I was playing cash and tournaments. Like I would go bust from a tournament and go directly into a cash game.
Yep.
And I found myself in a very muddy, like strategical, like I was just kind of in no man's land. I felt like I was playing tournaments like I should be playing cash like I was playing tournaments. It's just, and I was like, I needed to. When I came out of COVID and decided to go back in, I made like kind of a hard stop. So that was another thing why it was just mushy, like strategically for me.
Yeah,
Um,
Brad, it's
it's
so interesting you said that because in 2022, I kind of had the same epiphany at a poker table in Washington State. I was playing cash, and when I left that cash game, I was like, you know what? I just played that cash session like a tournament. And you can't. And I had never crossed those lines before. I always was able to keep the two, I call it, they're two separate games, right? A tournament game and a cash game.
it's
And
like drinking liquor and beer together.
up until that point, I was always able to sit down at a cash game and play it like a cash game, and sit down at a tournament and play it like a tournament game. And it wasn't until that cash session that I had blurred those lines. And I that's when I made the decision to take 2023 off from playing cash and focus on tournament play. And I'm kind of doing that again this year, only because I had so many health issues last year that I really didn't even come close to meeting my poker goals. So I'm kind of repeating some of that this year, even though I won't again this year because I'm on baby duty for 6 months, but it's okay. Life gets in the way of poker sometimes, and I would not have it any other way. But Brad, I want to ask you, is there anybody, and this could be somebody that's no longer around or still is alive, is there any poker player you would like to play against or wish you had played against?
um, I think it'd be pretty cool to sit with, Phil
Me.
Ivey, Phil Hellmuth, yeah, Phil Hellmuth and Daniel Negreanu. I mean, for me, like that's just kind of to say you did, and if you end up heads up, for a bracelet, then that's dope. Or you're in like a big spot deep. Um, I don't know, and even of those three, probably more so Daniel Negreanu. Phil Ivey would probably, I'm not gonna lie, probably intimidate the shit out of me. Phil Ivey probably, as much as I do have respect for him, probably would tilt the hell out of me. And Daniel Negreanu just seems like he's fun, so I think he'd be fun to play with at the table. Um,
Did you mean to say that Phil Hellmuth would tilt you?
yeah, because he just like he complains a lot at the table, and he's probably the person like that. When I'm at the table, I just want to put my earbuds in, and just not even listen. Um, but he would be fucking fun to watch get tilted, though. I will tell you that. I would love to be at the table while that happens.
So what you're
What would
saying
be
is like
more fun than having
you don't like the
Hellmuth?
bullshit, but you like to be entertained by the bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
A
And
little bit, right?
could you think of something more fun than being the person at the table that sent him on that rampage.
I know,
Uh,
right?
and you are, virtually a nobody in his world, and he is going off on you. I mean, that is
Sherry,
Wilhelm.
that's the career goal. I mean, next to a bracelet, a
Yeah, I agree.
Philhelmuth rant pointed at you. I mean, my gosh. Like, I love
Hundred
the
I
guy, but I
percent.
would have to needle
agree.
him to try to like get him to give me the rant, you know?
I love it.
Somebody
So
somebody on this panel recently played with Daniel Negreanu for about 15 minutes there, Sherry, and
We
Oh, and
sure
actually
he was a
did.
close
actually
race finisher in the
outlasted him.
freeze out.
Yeah. The
And
end
Brad,
boss. I was joking with everybody that we got the end boss of level 22 at the table. So I was hoping to take that down, but didn't happen.
it got
Dude,
close.
that's an incredible run, bro. Super incredible run on the live arena, on the biggest stage, playing with the best in the world, man. It's
It
so dope, man.
it
Super big ups to you, bro.
the thing is too, Brad, like I think it's important, like to be about the experience, okay? I'm not saying don't want to win, okay? But like realize that you're there, realize you've played a lot, be confident in your game, and just have fun because like you get down to the end of these World Series events and people are like nutted up. They're just like nervous and all this shit, and you're just like, and if you're there projecting confidence, it's like scary. It's like scary to them, you know? Like I was telling them, hey guys, listen, it's not like this is the World Series of Poker, but we are playing for life-changing money here, and you don't want to make mistakes that you're going to really regret forever. So just, be a little careful and make sure that you don't make a big mistake that you regret for the rest of your life.
That's
I, to-
hilarious.
I totally agree. This is a really good point that I think what happens with people that, especially it happened to me. The first time I went in the WSOP, like there is an absolute buzz. Same thing when you go to the WPT stuff in December, especially. There's an absolute buzz, and there's an experience off the felt, and there's an experience on the felt, and you have to find a way to separate them and take them both in. You know,
Right,
um, it's
right.
really, really easy to get caught up in the things that are happening in Vegas, but still, enjoy that experience. Go like watch a final table if you can. It's a fun experience. Go,
Enjoy the
uh,
journey.
yeah, absolutely. The meetup games, if you can find them, like, especially if Sherry's out there, right? But
Thank you.
anything you can do to like just enjoy the experience. But yeah, on the felt, yeah, you don't want that glitz and glamour to get in the way of your on the felt performance. You gotta just gotta be in the moment. I think it's a really good point that you brought up.
Um, I could not agree more. And I'm going to welcome ASG to the panel, and then we'll get to you, Blue. ASG, do you have any questions or comments? Welcome.
Yeah, I was just wondering. I don't know what kind of record you had, like when you were first, like starting of thinking of like playing live, or your second go around. Like, did you ever think about or ever approached about like a backing deal? And yeah,
No, no, it's a good question. I'd never been any kind like I think leaning into this like I had never was never really like a public person. And the only people that would have known me before I really started playing tournament poker, you're not crossing paths with a bunch of people in your local rooms, right? So the only people who would have ever known me are the locals and the people who knew that I was out there grinding. And I wasn't even all that super public with everybody that like, oh, I'm out here, you know, playing for a living, playing 40 to 80 hours a week, playing poker. Like I didn't really like put that out there. And then the short answer is I've never been back, never been staked, and I've never even shopped it, to be honest. And I think for me, like, I would like to have like a sponsorship deal or of some sort. That would be really cool. That would be my best case scenario. Uh, or possibly like at some point, like if I have like some good runs and I feel like I built up a little resume or something, and I put myself out there publicly for staking. I honestly feel that I'm a baby in the tournament world, and I'm still learning. So I honestly don't feel confident enough to even ask people to for staking. So I want to build a little more of a resume before I do something like that. But something like the WPT main event and the WSOP main event serves a couple purposes for me to sell. Like, I get like 2 grand back to help, just cover the costs of being there and maybe play another tournament or
I'm
something.
sorry.
Like,
What was the question again? What was the question again? I've lost. Ugh.
he was asking about backing, staking, etc. Basically, if I've ever been backed, staked, etc. But yeah, I'd like to, at some point have like a steady relationship with somebody that, um, can help me get into more tournaments. But I have never. So that's my long-winded. You guys know I'm long-winded. So that's a
That is
long-winded,
Brad. We are used to that, and that is not a problem.
short
And
story long.
Blue, you had a question or comment. Go ahead, Blue.
Oh, you all answered it. It's my first WSOP, so I was like, what's the mindset game like? Because I went and played the ring event, and the first time I played it, I almost pissed myself. And I don't know why, because I play at the Commerce constantly and I knew everybody there. But for some reason, it just being a ring event made.
Blue, let me just say something to you. It's just another poker event, honey. And those people are sitting at the same table as you are. You belong there, and so that do they. Don't make it more than it is. It's just another poker tournament.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. You know, off the felt, you're gonna have lots of the glitz and glamour you're not gonna have when you go play a daily commerce or the gardens. But on the felt, it's exactly the same. A lot of those garden players that are really good at in tournaments, I promise you, they're running deep in a lot of these tournaments. So you could even run into them. I run into the Arizona grinders out here,
Yeah, no,
and this
I
tournament
run into a
sucks.
lot of LA when I'm out there, which is, but I know them, so I'm not scared of them.
Right, right, right.
It's the unknown. I mean, I won't fall into the whole glitz thing because I'm staying with my parents, and my dad is not going to go out to the club with me. But I'm still a little freaked out to like walk into that room. I'm showing up a couple days early to like get my bearings and see what it feels like.
That's exactly what I'm doing. The 29th when I get there, uh,
Just the tip. Just
just
the
to
tip.
get
Just the tip. Just for a minute. Just to see what it feels like.
just to just trying to get the lay of the land. And the 30th, I got something going on with the TDA. Hopefully, I should be there. Play one tournament before the main and then get right into it. Um, so I have the same mentality. Once you get on the felt, it's just another tournament. It's a lot of fucking people. It's a zoo. I'm not gonna lie, but there's still the same amount of people at your table that there is anywhere else in the world. Um,
That's true. That's true. You pretty much only have to be at your table every time you're at your table.
And
right,
Blue,
right.
you're a damn good poker player, and you know you are. And guess what? You're going to do just fine. Make sure that mantra in your brain is I got this. I know how to play poker. I'm good at poker. I play poker all the time. This is just another poker game.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take drugs.
No.
Not the
Well,
wrong approach. I feel like
that
that might be.
works. That works for some, so I can't argue. Whatever works for you, do it. I,
Yeah, on that
however, will
note,
be
I'd like to give
sober.
Donna a big shout out for her new profile pic. That is fucking impressive, Donna. You look like an archangel from hell ready to take on the world, and I love it. Fuck yeah. Let's go, Donna.
I don't
Donna,
believe
are
it.
you there? She may have dozed back off. She was talking about
No, I'm
coming
here.
back for a nap.
Oh my god, you idiot!
That doesn't sound good.
Not
We are going to make sure nobody is getting called an idiot by Blue. I'm sure she's playing online and
It
is
sounded
upset.
like a bad beat. Sounded
Yeah.
like a bad beat.
So we're going to go around the horn. Anybody in the goo that would like to come up and make any comments or ask Brad some questions, we'd love to have you. please request in the bottom left corner. I'm going to start going around the horn and giving folks an opportunity to have their last say. So, ASG, any questions or comments before we leave?
No, but I will say for the main, the one thing that is different is how I, you know, I've never played in anything on that level that has the blinds moving up that slowly. So you just not to you're not as panicked or whatever about having a stack. You got plenty of time.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping because I'm so used to playing 20, 30 minutes. I've played 40 minutes and 60 minutes, but that I can
Same.
take like an hour to calm the hell down.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's almost no tournament in the world, at least that I can think of offhand, that really has 2 hour levels. Maybe like these super duper high roller events, maybe, but it is a pretty rare occurrence. You know, you start off with a bunch of chips. Um, so yeah, good point.
Great point. Greg Lark, any last comments or questions?
Oh, any parting words? Really? Do I get the parting comments again? Oh, that feels like an honor. No, not
All
really.
right.
No, nothing meaningful.
All right. I just want to give you a chance, but Blue, any last questions or comments?
If Brad wants to watch, I'm in ninth for the 12K, and I'll always take the
Ooh.
play.
Yes, I'll definitely get on the rail for you.
That's awesome. And don't let's not forget that Chief U is broadcasting right now on his channel. And a little shout out to that streaming crew and good luck to them. I appreciate you guys listening this afternoon. Donna, if you are not in Never Never Land, is there any last questions or comments?
Yeah, I just want to say, Brad, I love you to bits, and I will be on the rail, virtual rail from here, railing you to success.
Holy Billy.
And as shut your mouth and wind your neck in, mate.
Yeah, and just
I'm
thanks for
warning,
being the coolest dude in poker.
last warning. Blue, good luck, my sweetheart.
I'm gonna say it again. Way to be the coolest dude in poker. You are. I mean, I love Sherry and I love Brian and I love Donna, but when it comes to like bubbly, happy, damn, it's fun to play poker, and even if you like don't do well, it's still fun. Brad is Mr. Bubbles.
I love that. Mr.
Yeah.
Bubbles.
I
Brad,
appreciate that.
are there any things you'd like to still discuss with us before we let you go? Did we miss
Uh,
anything that you want to cover, bud?
Skip, is there Skip? Is my name Skip?
No, 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 no.
Huh?
Brad, is there anything else you'd like to bring up, bud?
I would just say, like, if you guys can, definitely come check me out on Sundays. I have the link to my stream channel on Sundays. We got an amazing crew of people. I have a lot of fun. I'd be hard pressed to say that you'd find another poker stream that's got a DJ in there, maybe. And I don't always have a DJ, but I'm always playing music, probably singing, playing the air guitar, and I've been said that or told that I wear my emotions on my sleeve a little bit. So I definitely get excited when things are going well, and I my streams, I don't focus so much on my tables. To me, it, my streams wouldn't be what they were if I just did that. So I put a lot of emphasis, as do these other streamers. Big shout out to Chief U out there right now. I can promise you, he's got other players that are in the chat that are being featured on the stream, and that's one of the things I really try to focus on, and focus on people that are there, give you guys the feature, and we just have a lot of fun, listening to music, cracking jokes, hopefully running deep, um, and but yeah, come check it out Sundays.
I love
Uh,
that.
oh,
If you click on Brad's profile picture, you can follow, to his Twitter account and find his link to his streaming channel. So don't forget to do that. So you'll be able to find him, follow him, or if you're not already one of his followers on Twitter. And I highly recommend his stream on Sundays. It's always fun, light, and there's always some interesting stuff going on. And when he has a DJ, it's awesome as well. Brian? what you
Oh,
have for us. Any more
real,
topics? Oh, go ahead, Brad.
real, real quick, I will not be streaming this Sunday because it is Father's Day, so I am taking the day off. Just want to throw that out there.
Love that. Love that. And speaking of Sunday, Sunday morning on our morning show at 9 a.m. Pacific time, we're going to be doing trivia for those that are interested. We will be doing some trivia on Sunday. So, Brian, any more questions for Brad or comments? Go ahead.
Couple things, Sherry. I want to throw a shout out to the ultimate snakes in the grass, Barry Levy and Coco. And yeah, you guys are great down there. And Blue, thanks for joining us, ASG. And Larry, all you guys, when you get to Vegas, make sure to DM me because I want to meet up with everybody while we're there, while we're here. And it's one big giant circus tent.
One big orgy at this point, yeah.
I would like to say that Brian and Brian alone is calling those two fine gentlemen snakes.
Snakes in the
And he is
grass.
standing on his own words because I am not calling you guys that because that's not what I think. But anyway, I see Stephanie down there and Jean and Chief Yu. Thank you for joining us. And Raja, who's hopefully running well in that tournament he's trying to play today before he hits the airport at midnight tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that, Raja. He's like, I gotta leave at midnight, and now he's in a multi-day event. But
I know.
let's go. Day
Let's go.
two.
And they will bag your chips for you, bud. Ryan Robb and Jonathan, Michael, Horse Coco, and Barry, thanks for joining us. Cool Chick and Larry Fine. Brad, you go right ahead, bud.
I wanted to say, like, what's been absolutely amazing over the last couple of years is the support that I've had from the Stream Team family, but it's not just them, it's from you guys here in the spaces. Like, Coco, Barry, I fucking love those guys. They're absolutely amazing. Raja just ran deep in the WSOP. It was super cool to be on the rail for him. ASG Blue. I mean, I can go on and on and on. I hate the listening because I don't want to not name somebody, but there's a ton of you guys out there. I really, really just absolutely appreciate the support from everybody. Donna, Brian, Sherry, you guys are just the stone cold nuts. I love you guys. And I just want to make sure that I made a point to say that it's the support that I've had over the last couple of years has been incredible. And it doesn't just come from the Club WPT Stream Team family. It comes from a lot of you guys out there too. And I appreciate you guys. It means a lot to me. It really
Well,
does.
we appreciate you, Brad, and uh, Greg, Blue, ASG, thanks for joining our panel today. Of course, my co host Donna and Brian, always appreciate the two of you. Brad, we wait with bated breath for your railing so we can rail you here in a couple weeks. And I look forward to seeing you in Vegas because I know our paths will cross. And anybody that's going to be in Vegas when I am, please, like Brian said, DM us so that we can make sure our paths cross. Brad, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for being the man you are, a great example for all. Thank you for joining us, everybody that's here now and that will listen on replay. We appreciate you. Have a great weekend, people.
Thanks, everybody. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.